Team UWC, it's your boy TWP Popcorn. You already know what time it is. 10 a.m. Saturday, 10 a.m. Sunday, 6 p.m. on Wednesday. It's another day in paradise for me. You know, coming in doing your THING. Shout out to our video sponsor. I'm going to go ahead put him in the background. Kid. What up, what up, what up? Shouts out to the big homie DJ is. Y'all know to go check out where this beat came from. Y'all already seen where we was though. After we got done with Spider Pig, you know, it went ahead and got me a recommendation on another beat that I like. So, you know, I was like, yeah, we'll start off with that today. Got to turn that damn phone down. Anyways, got that out the way. Shouts out to being the big homie. You know, he come through, do his thing. We appreciate that. Let's see, we're gonna go into our playlist. So we might as well get these videos on out the way. You know, we got some videos to do, right? Right.
Remember, quitting drugs is viewed more positively than never taking them. Until we meet again!
Johnson & Johnson Bedtime Bath, CVS Nighttime Baby Bath, Aveeno Soothing Relief Creamy Wash, and Aveeno Wash Shampoo seemed to trigger false positives for marijuana. If this wasn't discovered, it could have resulted in some life-ruining accusations getting thrown around. Fact 28. Illegal weed operations have been killing off owls. In another valuable argument for legalization, illegal pot operations have been having a ruinous effect on local ecosystems. In 2012, 2 rare spotted owls were found dead in Northern California's Mendocino County. The culprit? Rat poison, specifically rat poison used by a local illegal kush operation to keep pests away from their crop. But it isn't just the owls. The fisher, a rare forest mammal native to the area, has also been put in a dangerous position by careless weed farmers. Rat poison has been found in the system of 85% of dead fishers found are sometimes more likely to use weed as an unhealthy coping mechanism. 4. If you're an unlucky stoner, you might get cannabinoid. Fact 9. Who has the world's cheapest and most expensive cannabis? In a study conducted in 2018, it was found that Japan had the world's most expensive grain, coming in at $32 per gram. If flying high in the land of the rising sun feels a little steep for your wallet, then you'd be better off vacationing in Quito, Ecuador, where the price of marijuana averages $1.34 per gram. Fact 8. Malaysia has some of the most brutal anti-drug laws in the world. Planting a single cannabis seed will put you in prison for the rest of your life. Being caught possessing 20 grams will get you lashed. 50 grams will get you 5 years in jail, and a fine equating to almost $5,000. Up until 2018, having 200 grams was considered trafficking, and you could get sentenced to death. But now, it'll only put you behind bars for the rest of your life. Yay? Fact 7. Carl's Jr. once served a weed burger for $4.20. Seriously, back in 2019, as part of a special promotion for $4.20, they released the Rocky Mountain High Cheeseburger Delight, which had a special Santa Fe sauce infused with a small quantity of CBD. It was only available for a single day and the federal marshals, and remains one of the biggest weed busts in history. Now, check out what happens to your brain if you smoke weed for 30 days. Video instead.
Smoke weed for 30 days. That's easy. That is easy. Shout out to Mr. Sunscreen.
Pick a strain, whatever you want, you can get. Indica sativa, never rolling plain Jane. I know some people, if you want, drop 50, we ain't gon' cop any. Little mama got plenty, so many strain, puffing the flame, nothing but dro. One for the brain, one for the body, one for the soul. Running with strange, keeping the party under control. Up, away, flying, how far are we gonna go? Smoke team in the building, got 'em is what the deal is. Recognize coming with Burns, Felix, fulfilling County boy, got the liquor. Castle was on the fader, Stevie came with the greenery, mixing multiple flavors, whatever you want, homie. Tell me when to say when. How about you and your friends? Come get with me and my friends and keep it real with me, girl. I don't want to pretend like this is a new thing. Really, that's what it's been like. Yeah.
Marijuana, weed, cannabis, whatever you like to call it, there's a ton available these days. In fact, in Canada, there's more reefer shops than all the McDonald's, Wendy's, Burger King's, Taco Bell's, and Starbucks combined. But given my own personal interest in the substance and my obsessive interest in sleep on this channel, I've recently started asking myself, what exactly is the pot doing to my sleep? I know some people swear by it as a sleep aid. In fact, nearly 50% of users report that they're using it to help them sleep, while others say it only makes things worse. What's going on inside your body and brain when you go to sleep high or simply consume cannabis on a regular basis? And more importantly, could you and I actually be hurting our sleep, energy levels, and mental capacity in the long run? First up, let's look at the good sleep news. One of the main benefits of THC that you may have experienced and that's supported by research is a decreased sleep onset latency. This is just a fancy way of saying when you have THC in your system, you're likely to fall asleep faster, which is particularly useful for people who find their minds running before bed or those who suffer from insomnia. In fact, studies specifically looking at those suffering from insomnia found that marijuana not only helped them fall asleep faster, but also allowed them to sleep longer. As a result, this led to higher daily functioning and general improvement of well-being. And studies looking at people suffering from depression and PTSD have found similar results, as they often experience poor sleep as well. For people who don't have specific sleep issues, research shows that a single dose of cannabis can reduce sleep onset latency, increase total sleep time, and bring less sleep disruptions once asleep. But repeated use of cannabis can actually start to cause problems, which we'll get to shortly. There's also been some promising research into CBD, the non-psychoactive component of cannabis. First, it may interact with your body's thermal regulation by decreasing your body temperature. To initiate sleep, your body actually needs to drop its core temperature by around 1.5 degrees Celsius, and studies have found that CBD administration seems to aid this. Second, it may be interacting with adenosine. Adenosine builds up in your brain through the day, making you naturally tired. Caffeine actually binds to the same receptors, effectively blocking adenosine, which is why it can keep you alert. But some research suggests that CBD may actually modulate your sensitivity to adenosine, making you more tired. And finally, CBD seems to quiet the amygdala, which is associated with fear and emotions, and it's been shown to reduce anxiety in some studies, allowing for more restful sleep. But scientists have found that this is all very dose dependent. In fact, very low and very high doses of CBD may be wake promoting, while the ideal sleep dosage is still being experimented with. While this research is really promising, experts say it's still super early days to be recommending CBD as a sleeping aid, especially when in combination with THC. Which brings us to the bad sleep news. So even though THC may decrease sleep onset latency, it seems to make the overall quality of your sleep much worse. A normal sleep cycle goes from light sleep into deep sleep and then REM sleep, or rapid eye movement, where you have dreams. All of these phases are important for brain health and different cognitive abilities. But much like alcohol, marijuana seems to have a very negative impact on REM sleep. Not only does THC seem to delay the arrival of your first REM stage, it also significantly decreases the overall amount of REM you're getting. You've actually probably experienced this firsthand if you consume a lot of cannabis, in that you notice you have way less dreams. This has been further supported by eye tracking studies. THC decreases this movement and intensity, taking the rapid out of REM. And studies have found this can directly impair cognitive abilities like memory and cause more grogginess and lethargy. Chronic REM deprivation can make a person anxious and moody, and with extreme deprivation can cause one to hallucinate and become paranoid. If you've ever tried to take a break from weed or quit, you may have also noticed how wild and frequent your dreams become. That's because your body is basically going through a rebound phase. After having been deprived of good REM sleep for an extended period, it suddenly increases REM by a lot, leading to a lot more dreams, of which, in my experience, can be kind of crazy. A rebound phase like this is also often associated with a deficiency, further emphasizing the impact THC has on REM sleep. Speaking of rebounding, part of the reason that some people think cannabis is helping their sleep is because when they stop taking it, their sleep gets really bad. And not just like back to their previously bad sleep, but even worse. This is a very common withdrawal symptom, especially in people with insomnia, which leads to a tough choice. Do I quit weed to improve my sleep quality, but potentially trigger insomnia where I'm sleeping less overall? Or do I continue to use it and maybe be getting worse quality sleep, but at least I'm sleeping at all? The risk is some people seem to develop a tolerance for THC, and as a result often need to increase their dosage, which makes the problem harder to break away from and perpetuates the negative impacts of cannabis. In fact, sleep problems are one of the main reasons people are unable to quit marijuana, because the immediate impacts become unbearable. If you are trying to quit, just know that rebound insomnia is one of the main symptoms of cannabis withdrawal. Regular marijuana users also consistently have more sleep disturbances through the night than non-users, and addition, people who have used weed within the last month are also more likely to say they have a hard time falling asleep or staying asleep. In fact, one of the biggest studies on 14,000 students found that insomnia was significantly higher in people who consumed marijuana compared to those who don't, by about 45%. And these numbers were proportionate to how much weed a person was consuming. For people who consumed weed daily, they were 2 times more likely to have insomnia. Furthermore, people who use chronically, which is defined by around 20 days in the last month, are 64% more likely to sleep less than 6 hours a night and 76% more likely to sleep longer than 9 hours than people who don't consume, which may seem like an odd stat, but research over the years has found that sleeping between 7 to 9 hours is optimal, or the Goldilocks zone, and those who fall out of that range have an increased risk of heart attacks and strokes, as well as the long-term progression of things like atherosclerosis, diabetes, coronary artery disease, and any of the major cardiovascular diseases. But whether these sleep issues are actually caused by cannabis or simply correlative is still a little murky in some studies. For example, it's possible that people who have bad sleep or suffer from insomnia are more likely to turn to cannabis as a possible solution. At the end of the day, what can you take away? Overall, the results of cannabis use on sleep, specifically THC, don't look too good. While a single dose might help you one night, repeated use can very quickly make the problem much worse, particularly hurting your REM cycles. And while CBD does look more promising and doesn't seem to affect REM or cause dependency or rebound issues, it's still early days. It may be more useful for those who have conditions such as depression, severe insomnia, or other major sleep disturbances, but the results are mixed, especially when you factor in increased tolerance to marijuana over time. For me personally, I actually took the last month off of vaping or eating edibles because I was feeling like I was more lethargic and tired, and I can say with 100% certainty that I feel more well rested now than I have in a while. It's not like an extreme difference. It's almost difficult to articulate, but it's been a welcome change. And it doesn't mean I'm going to quit forever. I'll probably just use it a little more discerningly now, knowing there are specific negative impacts it's having on my sleep. Honestly, it's probably for the best to take a break from anything that you indulge in a lot. It makes it more exciting when you go back, and who knew it could also be good for your mental and physical health. Yay! But I'm curious about your experiences and perspectives with it. If you want to leave a comment down below, I'd love to read it. We actually made a whole podcast on this topic with more detailed research as well as our personal anecdotes and stories on the Side Note channel. I'll leave a link down below or on the screen somewhere for you to check it out. Thanks so much for watching. Your likes and subscription are appreciated as always, and stay tuned for some more science ASAP. Peace.
Which parent are you? In the bustling city of Nutriville,
Shout out
a
to our
group of
video
extraordinary individuals has emerged,
sponsors. Y'all
known
need to go check
far
out
and
the
wide as
superfood parents.
superfood parents. They are on a mission to transform their families' lives through the power of nutrition, one delicious bite at a time. Meet Chef Lakita Marie, the culinary mastermind behind the Superfood Parents Playbook. With boundless enthusiasm, she welcomes you to embark on a thrilling journey to becoming a true superfood hero. But what exactly does that mean? In Nutriville, superfood parents are everyday heroes. These superfood parents lead the charge for better health, but not with capes. They lead with carrots and whole food fats like avocados. And instead of masks, they lead with mangoes and berries. Fruits and vegetables are the disease-destroying arsenal of heroes. Are you a disease-destroyer superhero for your loved ones? Fruits and veggies fuel the mission of heroes like Veggie Vixen. Are you a Veggie Vixen for your loved ones? Dedicated to ensuring their loved ones thrive on a diet rich in faves, fruits, and vegetables. Here's your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to guide your family to superhero status by reaching the highest levels of health and wellness daily. Become a plant-powered titan, a superfood avenger, or even a face crusader by earning 5 points for every fruit or vegetable eaten. It's a fun-filled quest where nutrition meets excitement. All of the digital details are at superfoodparents.com for the full experience. Superfood Parents also created where you discover these workbooks give you the heroic strategy to craft your grocery list like a seasoned hero, which means you now have a playbook to even track your weekly meals like a true champion. And engage in mind-bending nutritional education with word searches that will keep your family entertained and informed. So, are you ready to join the ranks of the superfood parents? Are you prepared to unleash the power of faith and make every meal a heroic endeavor? If so, Flip the page of the Superfood Playbook and let's begin your journey to becoming the ultimate superfood hero.
To become a sponsor, just visit superfoodparents.com.
I also don't want to breed addiction to marijuana. Addiction to marijuana.
And that's not all he said. Dr. Oz just went on a crazy anti-legalization rant and gave all kinds of reasons why he thinks legalization is a horrible idea for his state. If you've seen this channel before, you know that I try to bring attention to politicians who are spreading lies about cannabis and doing everything they can to keep it illegal because they usually have no idea what they are talking about. But now we have another idiot who is saying things that are far worse. You want to keep up with all this kind of stuff? Make sure you subscribe. Dr. Oz is another TV star turned politician who just went on a wild rant about cannabis, saying that if you smoke weed, you won't go to work, you'll get addicted, you'll lose your mojo, and all of this stuff would be ridiculous no matter who's saying it. But when it's coming from a guy with a history like his, it's even more insane. So before we watch the video and disprove all of the things he just said, let me take a quick second just to cover all of the controversies that Dr. Oz has been at the center of. Mehmet Oz was actually a real doctor at one point. He was a cardiothoracic surgeon, which is a type of heart surgeon. But he wanted to do more than this. In 2003, Dr. Oz wanted to try his luck at becoming a TV star, and he started a show with his wife called Second Opinion with Dr. Oz. This show wasn't very successful and only lasted one season, but something happened there that changed everything. Dr. Oz met Oprah. Oprah loved Dr. Oz so much that she had him make an appearance on her show over 60 times until eventually giving him his own show called The Dr. Oz Show. The Dr. Oz Show aired from 2009 until January 2022. It was super successful and even won 10 Daytime Emmy Awards, but it has received lots of criticism and pushback for promoting all kinds of bogus health products and fake science. A 2014 study concluded that health recommendations he made on his show were based on some evidence only 46% of the time. They also said that only 1/3 of the claims were based on believable evidence. 2/3 of all the health recommendations he made were based on some weird pseudoscience or based on nothing at all. And this misinformation always came with some scam health product that you should buy that was some sort of miracle cure to be healthy. And this got so bad that Congress finally had to step in and do something about it. Later in 2014, Dr. Oz was called to testify in front of the Senate Consumer Protection Subcommittee for a bunch of false claims he was making about weight loss scam products that he was trying to sell on his show.
I can't figure this out, Dr. Oz. You're very talented. You're obviously very bright. You've been trained in science-based medicine. Now, here's 3 statements you made on your show. You may think magic is make-believe, but this little bean has scientists saying they found the magic weight loss cure for every body type. It's green coffee extract. Quote, I've got the #1 miracle in a bottle to burn your fat. It's raspberry ketone. Quote, Garcinia cambogia. It may be the simple solution you've been looking for to bust your body fat for good. I don't get why you need to say this stuff because you know it's not true.
They drilled him a lot, and one senator even told him,
The scientific community is almost monolithic against you.
some of the companies he promoted were eventually investigated by the FTC, but nothing ever happened to Dr. Oz, so he just kept pushing his crazy, bogus health products. And this made some people very upset. In 2015, a group of physicians, surgeons, and professors from around the country collaborated on a letter to Columbia's Dean of Medicine saying that the medical school's affiliation with Dr. Oz was unacceptable. We are surprised and dismayed that Columbia University's College of Physicians and Surgeons would permit Dr. Mehmet Oz to occupy a faculty appointment, let alone a senior administrative position in the Department of Surgery. Dr. Oz has repeatedly shown disdain for science and for evidence-based medicine. He has manifested an egregious lack of integrity by promoting quack treatments and cures in the interest of personal financial gain. Columbia replied with a message about freedom of
of expression, Oz kept his title, and he kept pushing snake oil. And he kept making medical professionals very upset. In 2017, a whole group of different academics contributed to an article about Dr. Oz where they asked, should a physician be allowed to say anything, however inaccurate and potentially harmful, so long as that individual commands market share? The answer is obviously no, but he was making millions off of fake miracle cures and nobody was doing anything to stop him. Dr. Oz was once heavily criticized by the medical community over a tweet aimed at selling services for a hacked website claiming that astrology can determine your health. And in 2016, Dr. Oz was criticized once again when he had Donald Trump on his show for a very weird staged interview. Trump had been under pressure to release his medical records and he didn't want to do it. So he came on Dr. Oz to prove he was healthy. Oz asked him why he won't show his records if he is healthy, and then Trump whips out 2 papers that are supposed to be his complete medical history, and Dr. Oz acts like he is surprised by these super real papers and how healthy Donald Trump is. And they have been buddies ever since. Dr. Oz is frequently featured on Fox, and in a 2020 appearance, he got a lot of love from Donald Trump for promoting hydroxychloroquine as a way to treat COVID, even though the FDA recommended not to because it could be dangerous. Dr. Oz has gone full-on MAGA hat and recently commented on how the 2020 election was rigged. I have discussed it with President Trump and we cannot move on. We have to be serious about what happened in 2020. So now Dr. Oz is running for a Senate seat in Pennsylvania against a former hedge fund CEO. While I'm editing this video, it was announced that Dr. Oz actually won by 951 votes. And this is where we finally get to all the crazy comments he just made, where he completely shits on cannabis consumers and gives all kinds of reasons he wants cannabis to be illegal in Pennsylvania. So we're going to watch this video, but I'm going to pause and correct him every time he says something that's a lie.
Fetterman has won statewide in Pennsylvania. He's got that going for him. He is a big... He doesn't dress like a normal politician. He's always wearing hoodies and he wears shorts. He wants to legalize marijuana, I believe, which essentially, quite frankly, seems to be legal. What is your stance on that, by the way, the marijuana?
So you know this is going to be good already. Before they even get into any questions, they're both crying about how this other politician is wearing shorts and hoodies. Oh, and he loves cannabis. Horrible. This guy sounds terrible.
You know, there are not enough Pennsylvanians to work in Pennsylvania. So giving them pot so they stay home is not, I don't think, an ideal move.
So that isn't real at all. Smoking pot does not make you stay at home and act lazy. Cannabis helps a lot of people focus, and tons of successful people in all kinds of professions use cannabis, including some top athletes. And we even have studies that prove that legal dispensaries actually boost employment rates. A study published in 2021 in the IZA Journal of Labor and Economics found that a dispensary opening triggered a decrease in the unemployment rate, driven by a 4.5 increase in employment rather than any reduction in labor force participation. The authors found no evidence of any increase in wages or labor force participation, leading them to conclude that this new employment appeared to be drawing from unemployed and self-employed workers rather than pulling cannabis employees away from other industries. So dispensaries would actually create more jobs and draw more employees from the crowd of people that currently don't have a job. So it would actually do the exact opposite of what he's saying. All right, let's continue.
He'll move. I also don't want to breed addiction to marijuana. It's not physical addiction, it's emotional addiction, but I don't want young people to think they have to smoke a joint to get out of their house in the morning.
Okay, cannabis addiction is highly debated and heavily exaggerated. But if he really cared about young people using cannabis, then why is he completely ignoring the multiple studies that have shown that legalizing weed is actually proven to cause less teen use? Once again, this is the exact opposite of what he's claiming. I wonder what's next.
We need to get Pennsylvanians back at work. You got to give them their mojo, and I don't want marijuana to be a hindrance to that.
What is mojo? Is that scientific? A magic charm, talisman, or spell? Magic power? Well, unfortunately, we don't have much scientific research on mojo. But cannabis is widely known to make people feel more creative and thinking
You got to
more of
have
like
mojo,
outside the
son.
box kind of ways. If anything, I would say that cannabis gives its users like extra mojo. But really, are we going to pass laws based off of our mojo right now? What the fuck is he talking about?
That I also don't want people operating heavy machinery and driving by me when they've been taking their fourth joint of the day.
So he thinks no one will go to work if we have legal cannabis, but he's also worried that it will make the workplace dangerous? How would people who have just taken their fourth joint of the day be operating heavy machinery if he also says giving people pot will make them stay home? Which one is it? Also, why does he say giving them pot? Like it would just be handed out for free and it wouldn't create tons and tons of tax revenue. Plus, anyone who operates heavy machinery at work also has to take a drug test. They aren't just allowed to take 4 joints while they're on the job. And does he think that there's some reason why things like that can't already happen right now? People could already choose to be reckless with drugs or alcohol at their job if they wanted to. You don't need weed for people to be reckless at work. Other drugs exist. Alcohol exists. And we already have tons of states that already have legal cannabis. And once again, we already have studies that disprove this theory and show that cannabis use is not tied to increased risk of workplace injury.
But there are other issues that are plaguing Pennsylvanians. We're a border state practically, right? Because they're flying illegal immigrants up here from the border in the middle of the night, these night flights, but they're also getting their narcotics up here really easily.
Oh, of course, he is pushing the heavily debunked theory of immigrants flying into Pennsylvania on these absolutely fake night flights. This guy shouldn't be a doctor or a politician, and it's people like this that make it so hard to pass laws in the favor of cannabis. No matter how much research that we might have to prove that everything they're claiming is completely untrue. And if you think this is as ridiculous as I do, then you have to see this video too. Because this level of misunderstanding or maybe just flat out lying is more common than you might think. And this guy is fighting against weed so hard, but he has no idea what it's even called. It is so dumb, you just have to see it to believe it. So click this video and I'll see you there.
So this is day 3 of the KOV challenge. So one of the things that we're supposed to do is ask a question. And one of the questions I'm interested in is, what do you think about my channel? When I started this channel, I started it, well, for me, I'm a type A personality and I needed to relax. I have some disabilities that are related to stress. And it seems like people like them and watch them. But you guys tell me what you think. Bye.
Give it gas when I'm dipping competition, getting past, living fast, furious, staying on track, never worry when I'm spinning. Last better get in back, ride from a dog, alphabeted on us, you gon' get it back, never split this pack. Whenever I witness cap, we ain't fucking with your fiction, facts, your conviction lacks. When I get up in my bag, I'ma spend, we ain't tripping off tax, clipping this tag, working on my wish list, cooking this cake. Let me flip this stack, you a flash in the pan, while you relaxing, I can, but deep in the pack, this a damn, putting tracks in the sand, pushing my craft to the fan, got the people all clapping their hands, putting cash in my brand, keeping my octane high, my graded premium, not 8-9 or 8-7, and when I run across state line, I'm 9-1, I gun it, clock great. Time, my time come, disappearing in the dark horizon. Way I cut turns, I'm as sharp as diamonds. Got them on tilt like a car's alignment. This is raw refinement, not a hard assignment. I'ma give it gas, give it gas, bitch.
Hey, look, I have some.
Anyway, y'all already know. Hit me up on a Buy Me a Coffee. Get you a membership. Get your Buy Me a Coffee set up. You know, we trying to get everybody monetized. Get y'all some benefits. Then start your business also. You know what I'm saying? Get your business side up. Get you on some business.
Twisting and reach some more pounds than you find at a Times Square peep show, but yeah, I got it. I still got some friends in the force, but this shit's like Ebola. Nobody wants